Citizens of St. Lucia, once again, I have found it necessary to address you on matters of grave concern to our lives, livelihoods, and the future survival of our country. The last time I addressed the nation on healthcare, I asked the government to be transparent, direct, and clear with its intentions for our two major hospitals and for health financing in general. I asked the government to remove the uncertainty surrounding the relocation of the hospital from the Jerusalem Stadium to the St. Jude site at Auger and the transitioning of the Victoria Hospital to the Owen King European Union Hospital, OKEU Hospital. I asked that the government remove the confusion and the speculation created by its refusal to come clean with St. Lucians. I indicated that it is the absolute right of every St. Lucian to be kept informed of the decisions for the provision of quality, accessible, and affordable health care. I reiterated that the privatization of our hospitals is not an option that any sensible or sensitive government should consider. To date, the government has refused to respond to these important questions. Instead, with its usual style of ignoring the voices of those who challenge their unwise and unfair policies, the Prime Minister and his cabinet of enablers have arrogantly gone ahead. Indeed, behind closed doors, they are colluding with foreign entities whose only interest is profit from the opportunities that both hospitals present to them and not the welfare of the citizens of St. Lucia. Why hasn't the government considered working with our friends in Martinique and Cuba who have generously and traditionally assisted and continue to assist us with our healthcare needs? The UWP administration has totally failed the people of St. Lucia in this most vital area of healthcare. And as we speak today, the situation is even more critical. While the government is engaging in games of delay, doublespeak, and confusion, the family and friends of St. Lucians have had to deal with very real and tragic consequences of a compromised healthcare system. National healthcare continues to stagnate and worsen as the UDP administration finds itself hamstrung and unable to advance its healthcare mandate, and healthcare continues to be a matter of serious concern. Even now, fiberglass poisoning at the Jerusalem Stadium, housing St. Jude, and the less than optimal conditions at our hospitals are real risk to the lives and well-being of those working in or seeking healthcare. Our doctors and nurses are not miracle workers. They should not be expected to work in conditions that compromise the level of care that they should give. The government must be held accountable for its reckless decisions. A patient who dies while on dialysis, irrespective of the situation, should never be dismissed with a careless offhand remark by Prime Minister Sassney that his death was not the first to ever happen. And the Prime Minister said, "Do you think that people have not died on dialysis previously?" What type of leader would express such a cold, uncaring sentiment? What type of government would be unaware of the pain that such sentiments could evoke among the family and friends of the deceased? We need to create a movement to put an end to this carelessness. The missteps and blunders surrounding healthcare are mirrored in other areas. One may recall the issue of the NIC 100 million loan, particularly as it relates to the security of pension benefits. I've posed a number of direct questions to the government. We all need and deserve an answer to this question. Did the NIC purchase any bonds during the recent sale of St. Lucia government bonds? The government needs to answer why St. Lucia has lost the Black Bay Hotel project, which would add jobs and much needed investment in St. Lucia. Another example of the incompetence and mistakes of the government. We are asking the government to respect the people of this country and admit to the facts surrounding the loss of the Range Hotel project at Black Bay. Mr. Dominic Fede's spin will not suffice. tell the people the truth. The government also needs to account for its use of the funds from the CIP program. It should not be allowed to continue to violate the rules of the program. It is difficult to imagine how a government can forego an offer by the World Bank to seek finance, monitor, and manage the construction of Ivanhoe International Airport without one additional cent of loan funds. But the government will instead choose to redevelop the airport through a loan that will increase the national debt by over US $150 million, and in so doing, mortgage the future of our children. There can be no secrecy in the affairs of the state when the money of the taxpayers of St. Lucia is being wasted. Another example of the government's loose use of state finances and the recklessness of the Prime Minister is his recent startling announcement of his intention to demolish the Parliament building, the Courthouse building, and the National Princery building before the end of this year, and replace them with a park. Where has his sense of priority gone? Where has the consultation on such an important national matter gone? Where is the regard for the value of our institutions of government, our history, our heritage? Where is the sensitivity for the fate of the workers of the National Princery who will needlessly lose their jobs? How can the Prime Minister give priority to a $32 million contract to a foreign consultant to prepare designs and repeat over and over there is no money for healthcare, or to commission the OKU hospital, or to complete St. Jude Hospital? The Prime Minister's priorities as it regards our people are ill-conceived. The government also needs to show more respect for the gifts from friendly governments to St. Lucia. The abandonment of the newly constructed National Abattoir at Beauséjour is a prime example of the insensitive disregard shown by the government to a necessary gift from the government and people of Taiwan. When the taxpayers of the European Union donated the new National Hospital to St. Lucia, the intention was for it to improve healthcare for the people of our country. They certainly did not regard it as a vehicle for profiteering. The St. Lucia Labour Party has observed the government's attempt to muzzle the media as reporters, journalists, and calypsonians work to reveal the truth of what the government is doing behind closed doors. As some media practitioners attempt to shine a light on the government's actions, we are hearing of a particular opinion writers being banned from certain newspapers. We see the Prime Minister's attempt to undermine reporters as they challenge his false statements. It is clear that the government's approach is to try to victimize, intimidate, and silence anyone who demands transparency and accountability. This is a threat to our democracy that must not and will not be tolerated. The Labour Party hears the daily lament of people devastated by the bad decisions and actions of this government. And therefore, our party is determined to stand in solidarity with the cause of the suffering people of our country. We will not be silenced, dismissed, or intimidated. As a party, we will continue to marshal support against the unjust and unsound plans that this government is formulating for healthcare. We believe that as a people, we must collectively demonstrate our opposition to the government's intolerable approach to healthcare and its governance in general. This is why we are staging another march and rally on Sunday, September 9th, the anniversary of the fire at St. Jude Hospital, to demonstrate once again our people's right to be heard on the issues of affordable healthcare, as well as sound, transparent, and just governance. I want to assure St. Lucians of all walks of life that we will stand in solidarity with them where there is intimidation, bullying, or victimization. Whether you are a teacher, a nurse, a police officer, a civil servant, a farmer, a customs officer, a member of the National Trust, a vendor, a hotel worker, a minibus driver, or a businessman. A chain is as strong as its weakest link, and strength lies in numbers. As St. Lucians, we must come together on September 9th to form a strong chain of resistance against a government that is jeopardizing our lives and that of generations to come. The situation in our country calls for all solutions, regardless of political color, to form a solid movement to end this madness, to end this runaway recklessness, incompetence that passes for government in St. Lucia. We need to show that we are serious by joining the protest march and rally on September 9th. This struggle is not just for ourselves, but also for generations yet to be born. Our country is not for sale. Our country is bleeding. Let's show our disgust for the actions of this government on 9th September 2018. Let's assemble at the VG Sab playing field starting at 2:30 p.m. I thank you.